They're on the beat day and night, sometimes undercover, sometimes not.
We're just here to talk about your COVID safety management plan.
You could call them the COVID cops, liquor and gaming officers on random patrols enforcing corona safety laws.
These guys over here, they're spaced out there.
Here, an inspection at Slim's rooftop bar, the Hyde Park Hotel, one of more than 500 venues checked in 2 weeks, the overwhelming majority compliant. But another mistake here. Hundreds outside the Sheaf Hotel, Double Bay, last night. A resident asking how many days until Sydney is locked down.
Here is some footage of us down at the snowfields recently. We were undercover, inspecting licensed venues with a strong focus on COVID safety. The vast majority of businesses in the region were observed to be compliant, but there was one outlier. We saw serious public health concerns at the Lake Jindabyne Hotel and worked with New South Wales Police fix the issues.
Vivid has always drawn a crowd, well, until COVID forced a 2-year blackout. But the bright lights are shining once again, and now people can linger for longer, with trading hours extended across the city.
Vivid would begin 12 years ago to draw people to the heart of the city in winter. And a dozen years on, what is now the world's largest festival of lights has become a critical money spinner for the CBD and the Rocks. The state government, anxious to draw people back to the CBD, is now extending Sunday trading hours in the area from 10 p.m. till midnight.
To get families out and about and to allow them to enjoy the experience of Vivid even more.
It just gives them that opportunity to take their time and not have to rush into a venue to get something to eat or something to drink.
Other previous COVID relief measures, such as the easing of regulations around alfresco dining, have been important drivers in resuscitating city businesses post-lockdown. The extension of trading hours comes as liquor and gaming regulators also begin a compliancing blitz on licensed harbour vessels, now regarded as prime posies to view the lights. And in a further easing a few harbour headlands east, a dozen King's Cross venues will no longer require patrons to have their IDs scanned before entry on Friday and Saturday nights.
Vivid is certainly, I think, the gateway to reopening the CBD.
Mike Dalton, 9 News.
It's critical that the public have confidence in the integrity of the casino and gaming industry, and it is for these reasons we will not be opposing the bill.
So I commend the bill to the House. And for those reasons, One Nation will be supporting this bill.
Ultimately, the Greens do support this bill because it does implement the recommendations of the Bergen Inquiry.
These are comprehensive reforms. They are consistent with the recommendations and the outlines of the Bergen report, and I commend the bill to the House.
I pray that God will bless it to be successful in carrying out its objectives. Thank you.
The government will closely monitor the implementation of these reforms, as mentioned by speakers previously, be prepared to introduce any further reforms as necessary to ensure the casino industry in New South Wales is vibrant, safe and responsibly run as the community expects it to be, and I commend the bill to the House. I move that the bill be now read a third time.
Thank you. I have a certificate from the Chair of Committees that the bill is in accordance with the bill as reported from the Committee of the Whole. The question is the bill now be read a third time. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those against no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it.
Casino Legislation Amendment Bill, third reading.
I work really flexible hours. I get to do what I enjoy. I get to see my best friends. It's something that really correlates well with my lifestyle.
In Australia, we have one of the highest pay rates for hospitality workers.
I wasn't a very confident person, and I guess it really helped me understand who I was a little bit more. And within 6 months, I became like a completely different person, and all around just like one of the best experiences I've had so far in life.
Everyone knows where they can go and gamble if they wish, but it shouldn't be advertised, especially with a lot of kids watching.
They don't need that sort of exposure, so yeah, it's a really good initiative.
I think gambling has its place, but I think sport is sport, and sport brings people together, and it should be about enjoying yourself.
I think the more clubs get involved, I think the better, especially, being at a family game.
Following an inquiry by the Liquor and Gaming Authority, which found allegations of money laundering and criminal links at its casino here and in Perth.
Today, the New South Wales Independent Liquor and Gaming Authority granted conditional gaming approval for 2 years, at which point it'll consider granting a permanent licence.
The Liquor and Gaming Authority has authorised the conditional opening of gaming in the Crown Casino at Barangaroo.
Crown says a thorough overhaul is underway. Our vision is to become one of the most respected operators of integrated resorts anywhere in the world.
They can't say they're suitable day one. We want to see them operate, particularly embedding in their culture the things they've told us they're going to do. They don't say to us suddenly, culture's fixed, happy days. We want to see that happening. We want them to perform and do as they've told us they're going to do.
Welcome to the programme. The underbelly of Australia's casino industry is on display again, this time at Star Casino in Sydney.
We can't really have a company in that industry limping along, struggling with its integrity. Quite a lot of their staff were involved in a process which was quite deceptive, misleading and deceptive.
This star has finally fallen.
We've lifted the lid and put the spotlight on, and we want to see some real action on their part.
Now, you may have heard this week that an inquiry found the Star Entertainment Group unfit to hold its Sydney casino licence. And I just want to assure you that this is not indicative of some wider cultural issue within the casino industry. But just to be clear, this inquiry is not to be confused with the inquiry into Crown Casino operations in Sydney, not to be confused with the Royal Commission into Crown Casino operations in Perth, not to be confused with the Royal Commission into Crown Casino operations in Melbourne, not to be confused with the current inquiry into Stars Casino operations in Queensland, not to be confused with the upcoming inquiry into casino operations in Adelaide. So as I say, this is really just more of a one-off. Also seen the CCTV footage from Star Casino of cash being stuffed into brown paper bags. But again, this is a misleading representation of what went on at the casino. They don't just go around stuffing money in brown paper bags. They also stuff it in suitcases, cooler bags and backpacks. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about sports bags? Well, yes, they also do those. On a balcony.
In the world of gambling, it's a loss on an unprecedented scale. Star's casino licence will be suspended from Friday, with a manager appointed to take control and clean up its operation.
I don't think there's been a suspension before. I think you'd have to view it as a very serious step that's being taken.
It was a gloomy start to the day for Star Entertainment Group. Its flagship Sydney casino to be placed under government supervision from Friday after the company's licence was suspended by the New South Wales Independent Casino Commission.
Anti-gambling crusaders say the Star has been given the right to continue making obscene profits despite its casino licence being suspended over money laundering and organised crime links.
A huge fine was always on the cards. Star Casino has been stung $100 million, had its licence suspended, and an outsider has been placed in charge, all because it put profits above the law and turned a blind eye to criminals.
While the Star could still have its licence revoked in the future, the company says it will do everything in its power to earn back the trust of regulators and the community.